Okay, so you can speak like this. So like from there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound good with Ella? Her voice?
Hello.
Try
Hello.
saying something.
Hi, my name is Ella Schuman.
Good.
And I'm on the podcast.
Closer.
Okay. Sorry. I'm also talking a little quieter, so.
Good?
Yeah.
Is this good?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to do the intro, and then you can move
Okay.
back into the mic after we get you on.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to Point of View, where we give students a place to listen, learn, and lean in. I'm your host, Sofia Mang, and today we're interviewing...
Ella Schuman.
Today we're interviewing her about her acting career. So, Ella, I have a few questions for you. Most people know that you are a currently working actress, and I know that you're currently signed with Houston Talent. I think that's how you pronounce it. So how did you get started, like in regards to getting signed with an agency, auditions, and how old were you? So how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so I have been signed with my agent, Houston Talent, for about, I think it's coming up on 10 years now.
Wow.
I signed when I was like 8 years old. I started classes when I was 6 or 7. I can't really remember. But yeah, my mom put me in classes because I wasn't very athletic, and she could tell that. And so she was like, I was just way too outgoing for her, and so she wanted to offload that energy somewhere else. So yeah, she put me in acting classes, and I loved it. And yeah, one of my teachers, or one of my coaches, said to me, well, are you interested in doing it for real, like actually going in the big leagues and all that kind of stuff? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't know what he was talking about. And basically he gave me like a list of agents to try out for, and like he taught me about the audition process and like all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and then next thing I know, I was auditioning I had been in classes for about a year, and then I started auditioning for agencies. And so I auditioned, I think, for 5 different agencies, and then one of the 5 was Houghton, and they found me, and they were like, I went into audition, and it was actually thinking back on it now, it's actually a very funny story of how because I had like a script prepared and everything, and then on there I said I could sing, and they were like, well, do you have a song prepared? And I was like, I don't. And I was also so young too, so I was so nervous. I was like, I don't have a song prepared to sing or like anything like that. And so they're like, well, why don't you sing Happy Birthday? And I was like, oh no. I was like, I can't sing Happy Birthday. So I ended up singing Happy Birthday, and my mom was outside the door like listening in, and she was like, oh, she's not gonna get it. And so I walked out of there like fully convinced. I was like, yeah, they're not gonna like take me or anything. But yeah, I was wrong. And then like, I think a week later they called me and they were like, we want to sign you. And I was like, oh, what? So it was very cool. And so, yeah, getting started was a lot. Well, okay. It's a lot easier for younger kids to get an agent. And I've noticed that it's harder for like older, like teenagers and that sort of age group to get signed. It's kind of difficult. But for younger, when I was younger, it was a lot easier for kids to get signed on. But yeah, no, it was definitely. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm like, there's so many things going through my head right now. I'm like, what do I?
It's okay.
But yeah, so wait, what was the question originally?
You answered it.
Did I answer?
Yeah,
okay,
just how
perfect.
you got started.
Okay.
But I did want to ask. So you took acting classes. Was this at like a certain place, or like what was the name of that place?
So it was a place called Your Act. I think they went bankrupt. I do not think they're around anymore. But it was a really rundown, like sketchy building now that I'm like thinking back on it. I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. But no, I had some of like the best coaches there, and I still, on my YouTube channel, if you scroll to the very bottom, you can still see like my auditions from when I was like,
oh my God,
8
so
or like
cute.
7 or 8, and it's just, and my friends play them all the time, and I'm like, okay, it's enough.
That's adorable.
But it was just like a bunch of monologues and stuff. But yeah, in the acting classes, it was like there was a film class, and there was also like a theater class, so I got to do like all of that, which was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So yeah, and then and ever since then, like I've been taking classes. I've been taking classes for as long as I can remember, but I've been doing like workshops ever since I was younger. So that's like basically casting directors or agents or whoever, like important people will do these sort of workshops where they'll basically talk about, I don't know, they give you tips and tricks on the industry, because it is a very competitive, hard business to be in, because you get, like, I've been rejected more than I can even remember. Like, I can count. And so they kind of do, there's workshops on different things, but so they would just, like, coach you through, like, kind of how to deal with, like, kind of growing up in the industry and how to like stay
like sane.
Stay sane. And like not, well, that also, but they would also, we would do like breakout groups, and we'd do monologues in front of everybody, which was also so scary. But also like it got me better at like being in front of like a camera and like being in front of people. And when you're on set, like you're in front of like
whole crew,
like 100 people. Like, it's insane. Like, I mean, I don't think people really think about when you're watching a TV show, there are like 50 people behind the camera, like like crew and casts watching, and like directors and executive producers, like all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of people in the room, and so you just have to like, that taught me definitely to have like tunnel vision. Like, this is me and my scene partner. That's who I'm focused on, and not everybody else watching. But yeah. So.
And you find these workshops through your agency, right?
So my mom was a lot of help, like finding, because I was so young, so my mom found like a lot of the workshops for me. But it was mainly people like my agents would recommend. They're like, oh, like this casting director is coming in town and they're doing a workshop, like, and so we recommend that you go, do it. But yeah, and it would be like, my agent would tell me about workshops of like casting directors that have seen my stuff and they liked it. Oh. And so they would tell me to like just kind of go and like see what, well, yeah, but also like kind of know like how they're thinking when they're going through the audition process, like what they look for, like what they're, and kind of like things to stay aware of when you're auditioning and when you're submitting, all that sort of stuff.
And this is kind of a good segue, you mentioning like the stuff that you've been in, so you can kind of like resume dump now and just kind of say everything you've been involved in, just because, since you started when you were super young. I just want to know. Like it's not like a ton, but also jogging my memory. I was in a lot of like commercial work when I was younger. Like that's mainly obviously I wanted to, like, starting out, I'm like, I want to be in TV shows, I want to be in movies. But then, like, commercials were more, like, not saying they're easier to get, because no job is easy to get. Like, it's all very difficult. But, yeah, I did, like, stuff from, let me look on this little list. I did a Ring Pops commercial, which was so much fun. I still have, like, the best memories from doing that commercial. It was, like, a Halloween themed Ring Pops. Like, it was so much fun. I got to dress up as a witch. Like, I honestly have some of my best like childhood memories like in like on set. Like it was so amazing. And I did like 2 Rooms to Go kids commercials, like a bunch of and you can probably still find, there's like one that I like swear I see all the time, because my friends just love to be like, oh, like you were in this. And so it's just like a lot of the commercials I was in, it was like non-speaking, and it was just a lot of just like either dancing around, being a kid, or like whatever. But so that's like growing up I was in a lot of commercial work, and I feel like as I started getting older, I started auditioning more for like TV shows and movies, and I was like, oh, this is like the big leagues. This is really cool. Like I was when I was younger, but I think as I started watching more like TV shows and movies as I started growing up, I was like, yeah, like I want to be in this. Like I want to be a part of this. This is so cool. And so about, I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I was in Cobra Kai, and that that literally everybody found out I was an actor then. And like everyone, when it first came out, everybody was like, I didn't know you were an actor. And I was like, why don't you talk about it? And I was like, it's just, it's not something that like comes up in normal conversation. Like when you first meet someone and you're like having a conversation, like it feels weird for me to be like, oh, by the way, like I am an actress. I just thought I'd mention that. Yeah. And so like these like, especially like people at school, like kids I've grown up with, they're like, wait, what? Like I didn't know you were an actor. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, so that was, Cobra Kai was like such a cool experience, because it was like my first commercial thing, and it was like it felt
it was because I had done like short films and stuff like that weren't commercials, but this was like the first time I was like, dang, like this is the big leagues. Like this is like
Netflix.
I know. Oh my God. It was just, and the whole like process of like when I first auditioned for Cobra Kai, I didn't know it was for Cobra Kai because it was so like shows or movies that are very like high profile that are like Marvel or things like that, or Netflix for instance too. They won't put the name of the show in the audition title. And so like when I auditioned for it, I think it was something like, I don't know, it was something, I don't remember. But they didn't say what it was. And then when I got the call back, they said what it was, and I was like, and I had heard of the show, but my mom was like, oh my God, you need to get this. Like, you need to get this. Like, she loved the show. She was like, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool. And also when auditioning, I really try not to get my hopes up because I am going up against thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people for this role. Like, it's slim. Not that I don't believe in myself as an actor. It's just I know that when it comes down to it, it doesn't come down to my talent. It comes down to like looks. Like, oh, well, we want blonde hair. We want like it comes down to like the littlest things. Yeah. And so when I got a call back for it, I was freaking out because I mean anytime you get a call back for anything, like it's just so it feels like you're doing something right. But to especially get a call back for this, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. And this was during COVID when this had happened. So I filmed this like on my phone, like on my windowsill, like in my basement. Like it was nothing like high tech or like not with like a fancy camera, like literally my phone and my windowsill for light. Like literally that was it. And then a few days later, I got an email from my agent, and they're like, "Yeah, they want to book you." And I was like, "That's not real. Like, you're lying to me. Like, you're lying." And I was driving home from, I think, acting class. I was driving home from acting class, and I got that, and I was like, just like bawling my eyes out. Couldn't believe it. I was just like, "This is so crazy." But yeah, when I was on set, it was such a cool experience, genuinely, because also like. I was trying so hard not to, and I had watched the whole show because I was like, well, I booked it, I have to watch the whole show. So I watched the whole thing, like, I think in one night. I was so excited. And when I got to set and I, got to meet the actors, I was like, I was trying to keep my cool. I was really just trying to, like, be like, I'm chill, like, I deserve to be here, like, I am, yeah. So, but it was a very, very cool experience because I got to meet my scene was with the main character, Johnny Lawrence, William Zabaka, I think is the last name Zabaka. I don't want to say that wrong, but yeah, I think Zabaka. Anyways, but my scene was with him, and like meeting him, like after seeing him in the show, like I had just watched it, so I was like geeking out, and I was just like, but it's so crazy when you meet, or when I've met like celebrities on set, it's just, it's such a weird experience because like they're an actual human being. But I'm like, you're not real. Like, I've only seen you on a screen. Like, it's crazy. And for them to, like, actually talk and be normal, I'm like, okay, like, that's cool. But, yeah, so I also met the other, like, I think, like, the main character. His name's Sholo. Oh, it's Sholo. Okay, sorry. I'm, like, trying to remember how to say it. It's pronounced weird. But, yeah, it was just so cool, and I got to hang out in like the cast tent, and it was like, and I had like one line, and everybody probably knows that my line was "I'm asexual," like that was my line, and that and everyone when I went to school, like when after it aired and after everybody like had watched it or people had watched it, everyone was like, "You're asexual," and I was like, you know what, whatever, yes I am. Like I was when it came out, it was also like whenever you like film stuff, it's always. It happened like a year ago. Like I filmed it a year before, and then because it takes like editing and stuff like that. And so when it actually came out, I was like, oh my gosh, people like know about this now. Like it's crazy. But yeah, sorry. I ramble. Like I ramble all the time. Like I'm so ADHD.
It's okay.
But anyways, yeah, being on set for that was such a cool experience. I was treated like a princess. I don't know what I deserved to like be treated like that, but it was probably one of the best like on-set experiences I've ever had because they were just all very like welcoming. The cast was not like
stuck up
or anything. Like not that I was expecting them to be, but it's also like when you first meet celebrities, you're like, I don't know what to I don't know you. Like I don't know are you cool, are you not? But it was definitely cool. And I was on set doing that one scene, like the I'm asexual scene, for probably like 2 hours, which people like don't understand is like one take is like 30 seconds on screen probably took like the entire day. Like it's insane, because there's also like different like camera angles I have to get, and you don't, when you watch a show, you don't normally see it, but like the camera, it's looking at the one person and then it's face to them, but they have to do like so many different, like we did like 5 different like angles or whatever. It was it was crazy, but I was like enjoying it. Like at first when I like got on set and I was doing my scene, I was so nervous, even though it was one line, like I wasn't gonna forget my line, like, but it was still just like the fear of like, oh my gosh, like I'm working with like such a big actor right now, and I'm just trying to like keep my chill. And I was talking to like William, we're on a first name basis. Anyways, but I was talking to him, and he was asking about my goals, and I was like, and my dreams, and I was like, well, this is my dream. Like this is what I want to do for like ever. And yeah, he was just a really cool guy, because in between like the times where they had to like set up cameras in different like angles, he was just talking to me and was being so like nice, and you could tell he's worked with kids before, because he was just being a really nice guy and open to like talking about the industry and everything, and it was just amazing. But yeah, so that was one of, sorry, I'm like okay. Going, I forget that it's not like all like I have to do it all in one take.
Yeah.
But,
it's okay.
But yeah, so that was so much fun. But then also after Cobra Kai, I had auditioned, because I'm constantly like auditioning for like new stuff, but once I submit it, I have a thing where I'm like, once I submit, like I put it out of my brain completely, because if I dwell on it or think about it, then I'm only gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
So I just put it out of my brain as best I can, and I got this audition for this new show called George and Tammy, and that and so I always like looking, when I get the email, I always like looking at the executive producers and like all the producers, just to see if like I recognize any of the names, and also the cast too, because sometimes they'll have a little bit of it, because they already filled up like the main characters. And I saw Jessica Chastain. I don't know if you know.
Oh, of course I know
Okay.
Jessica Chastain.
I'm just making sure. Anyways, I saw Jessica Chastain was the lead character, and she was also an executive producer. And I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. I'm like, also like just girl boss. Like I'm like, that's so cool. And so when I auditioned for it, I was like also really excited, but also I was like, again, with everything, I'm like, this is a long shot, but I love acting. I love auditioning. I love it all. So I'm like, it's just, I have so much fun doing it. So I'm like, if I don't get it, whatever, it's fine. I had a fun time doing it. And then, yeah, I got a call back. Actually, yeah, I got a call back for that, and then I heard, like, nothing. I heard nothing for a while. And then a month later, I get an email, or my mom gets an email. Me and my mom get an email. And they're like, hey, we just want to let you know Ella booked this thing, and she has to be in North Carolina tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. And so I was like in school, like I was like doing school, and I'm like, okay, that's gonna be, and this was junior year, so this is last year.
Ooh, okay.
And so I was like, okay. And there have been times that I'd have to like, sometimes in the acting industry, like there are times where you'll book something and they'll be like, okay, we have to see you tomorrow. And in this case, I think I had a COVID test. I had to take a COVID test like the next day.
Oh my God.
And then I had to be like on the road literally after the COVID test. And I'm like, okay, perfect, awesome. And I had just gotten, when I got the news that I had got the job, I just walked into this house I was babysitting, this family I was babysitting for, and I was like, how is this gonna work? I have to like come home and pack, like I don't know what to do. But yeah, and I hadn't heard anything for like a month, so I assumed I didn't get it. I mean, I just was like, okay, like cool, I didn't get it, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, so then that next morning I had a COVID test, and I was on my way to North Carolina, and that was probably the most like the coolest wardrobe I've ever had, like, on set, because it was all, like, 70s theme. Like, it was, like, there was a wall of, like, go-go boots, and I was like, this is where I want to die. And, like, I want to die in these boots. Like, it was so cool. And, like, just the wardrobe fashion of it all was so cool. And I got to meet Jessica Chastain, and that was truly an out-of-body experience is the only way I can explain it, because I was running late to set, naturally, somehow. And once I got, there was like a holding room where they hold the whole cast, and they were all like sitting in this circle, and I was the last one to walk in, and I was already really nervous because I knew I was gonna walk into this room of like really cool people and actors and Jessica Chastain, and I was like, this is weird. And also, I don't know if you know, but the other main character, Michael Shannon, he played George Jones. He was in there too, and I had done like I hadn't really heard of him, but I'd done research on him, and I'm like, oh, this guy's so cool. Like, But and then when I walked into the holding room, it was like everybody was like just sitting there in a circle, and our scene, or the scene I got booked for, it was like this scene where we were in the dining room, like singing this song around the table. And so when I walked in, they were playing this, or Michael Shannon was playing the guitar, and they were all singing this song in a circle, and I was like, this is so cool. And so I just sat down and I just started like singing along, and it was so cool. And then like Jessica introduced herself. She's like, hi, like, I'm Jessica. And I'm like, like, and in my mind, I'm like, I know exactly who you are. Like, you don't need to introduce yourself.
I'm Jessica. Oh my gosh,
I know.
like, we don't know.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, yes, then I'm Ella. Like, nice to meet you. Yeah, it was just so, like, surreal. And even in those moments when, like, again, it never gets easier, like meeting celebrities. I'm like, this is so crazy. But once I, like, get on set and I, like, act with them, it just, that completely shuts off, and I just go straight into, like, work mode. I'm like, I'm trying to impress these people right now. Like, every time I feel like I'm around, like, really big actors, I'm like, this is my time to, like, impress them. Because you never know, like, I feel like the business and, like, in general, like, the world, like, it's all about who you know, and, like, networking, like, it's literally all about who you know. And so I'm always, like, every time I'm on set, like, I'm on my, like, A game. Like, I'm on my A game, like, trying to do the best I can and, like, do the best acting and best work I can possibly do. But that day was really cool, and we shot on a really pretty, like, marsh in North Carolina, and it was amazing. And their craft service table, I don't know if you know, but it's basically like a table full of snacks that they have, and it's like anything you can think of, they had it. And it was so cool. I had such a fun experience, and I got to, like, I asked Jessica for a picture after we wrapped for the day. I'm like, can I please have a picture with you? Like, please, that would. And then the next, like, I think 2 months later after that picture, she won an Oscar, and I was like, I know an Oscar winner. Like, that is so cool. And being on set with her, like, she was so, like, that show was her baby. Like, she was an executive producer, but, like, that show was her baby, and she, like, took so much pride in it. And, like, if I saw one of your questions on there was like, do you look up to anybody in this industry? And after that, like, experience on set and filming for George and Tammy, I was like, I look up to this woman so much, because she's just a girl boss. Like, she is, like, executive producing, she's starring in it, and she just is so, like, it's I feel like it's very rare to see actors that are very, like, so involved and, like, with their work and, like, take pride in it, and she truly does. And it's like, we were on set and there was, like, a line that she didn't like, and she was just like, I want to, like, can we change this? I don't like this, like, this makes it seem like, and I don't know, she was just adding her 2 cents, and it was so cool. And like, the director was just going, he's like, yeah, sure. Like, he had so much faith in her, and the show did, like, so good. So I'm like, so grateful to have been a part of that, because that was, like, an experience as an actor and as a person, like, I'll take with me forever. And I also on set, this is so random, but the dad from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid was there, Steve Zahn, and he was there, and I did not know he was going to be on set. I had no idea. And he was in a wig and everything, because it was, like, 70s, so he was in, like, this really crazy wig. And I was like, I look at him, like, I look at my mom, like, I know him, but I don't know how. And then it registers, like, like, he was the dad in the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. My mom was like, what are you talking about? And, like, my mom knows him from the White Lotus, and me, I know.
Oh my God, I love White Lotus.
And my mom was like, oh, I recognize him from the White Lotus. And me over here, I'm like, I recognize him from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. And she's like, what are you talking about? So yeah, it was such a good day and so much fun. And I also love working with, like, I had a bunch of, like, little siblings too. So, like, working with them and seeing, like, it sounds, like, so cheesy to say, but, like, seeing almost, like, myself as, like, a younger actor, like, you know, watching how just passionate they are. It's so cool. It's, like, it's really exciting. And I'm like, I wish I was booking TV shows when I was this young. Hey, like, that's so cool. But yeah, that was definitely, I'm very grateful for the commercials I've done, but TV shows is, like, where I want to be. Like, it's so much fun. It is so cool to, like, yeah. And I just love acting because you can just truly be so many different versions of yourself without being called, like, bipolar or anything. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but it's also, like, I literally put on so many, like, personalities when I audition for things, and it's so fun. Yeah. Like, I love it. It's awesome.
So we are running out of time, so I'm
sorry.
just gonna...
I talk so much.
Because when you answer these questions, you're, like, answering, like, 5 of them in one, so, like, it's okay.
I'm so glad.
But, so I think I'm gonna ask you, you don't have to answer right now because I'm just gonna go over it, but I'm gonna ask you about, you already talked about missing school to film. Do you have anything else to say about balancing school and work, or do you want to skip over that question?
I would just say, yeah, this will be quick. Sorry, I'm thinking. So, like, brain's working really quick. Yeah, I've never really had trouble balancing school and work. Also because if I'm gone for George and Tammy, I think I was gone for a week, and there was something called a set school, and there's, like, laws put in place for kids who are still in school, and they have to, like, go to this trailer that's called school for a few hours a day. And so I'm able to, like, work on work, and also, I don't know, I'm a big believer. If you love something, you're gonna make it work. You're gonna get your ish together, and I don't know, like, figure it out. And so I always said if it ever got to be too much, I would go to, like, a private school or, like, figure something out online. But I also wanted to also have, like, you know, go to pub, well, yeah, but, like, have, like, a high school, like, life, and have, like, you know, but it was never truly, like, too hard to manage. But yeah, that's what I have to say for that.
And do you have any friends who are also in the industry, or, like, people who are, like, in school in the industry? Like, do they have anything else to say that, like, is different for them versus your own experience?
No, I don't. I have some friends in the industry that I go to, like, class with, and they're in high school, but it's not, unless you're, like, on fire. Like, unless you're, like, literally booking stuff. I mean, I wish. Yeah. Like, booking stuff, like, every week. Then I think everybody I know who's in kind of the same position as me, like, it's pretty manageable because you'll get an audition here and there, and sometimes there'll be some weeks or some months you just don't get any auditions, and then one week 5 auditions will come your way, and that can be a lot because, you know, with everything else going on in my life, it's not planned for. So yeah, that's the only time I'd say that it really gets to be, I guess, a little bit overwhelming. But yeah, I guess that's what I'd say.
So what is your biggest challenge when acting, and what's your favorite part about acting? I think you might have touched on this already, but if you want to just, like, slightly go into it more.
Yeah, I would say probably my biggest challenge is, and I've gotten a lot better with it, but it's just the rejection thing. Like, it's after I'll audition for something, and there was a time that I got called back, like, 5 times. Like, I got 5 different callbacks, and they were like, so I auditioned, and then I got a callback, and they're like, yeah, we like you. And then I got another callback, and they're like, yeah, we like you. And then I got another callback, and just, like, making sure. And for bigger projects, they'll do that because they want to make sure, like, you're capable and you can do it. But those are really discouraging because on those, it's very hard not to get your hopes up because it's, like, it's definitely just salt in the wound.
Yeah.
Like, there will be, and there's also things like, I've auditioned for shows, like, that are on Disney Plus now, and there was this one show, I think I can say it. I auditioned for the show called, it was, like, Just Beyond. It was on Disney Plus, and I auditioned for it so many times because the casting directors liked me, and then after a while, like, I heard nothing, and then like a few months later, like, the show was like, they announced the show was coming out, and like I don't know, it's so hard because I'm like, I want to watch it, but I also don't because like I don't want to see who got it and I didn't. But I don't know. I'd say that's probably the hardest part is also the comparison aspect, and like if someone gets something and you don't get it, like, well, like, why wasn't I good enough? And like it's just like comparison in real life. It's just, you know, you're constantly like, well, what did I do wrong? But I mean, at the end of the day, like, what I've learned in workshops and classes, it ultimately just comes down to like the littlest things, like maybe height, and you're acting with somebody that needs to be taller than you or something, and like, or hair color or eye color, or some like very particular, and it's just, and so I try not to, I'm still working on it. That's something I'm still working on, but I mean, I think it's gotten better like over the last like 10 years, so it's gotten easier, but I'd say like the best part would probably be being able to learn like from people who have been at it like a lot longer than me. And I think I might have said this, but like being able to work with like Jessica Chastain and Williams Baca, like that was so, like, I truly am like a sponge in those situations, and I'm just soaking up like every little thing they're doing. Like I feel like every actor, like I always, maybe this is like bad, I don't think it's bad, but like I pull like a little bit from them and like things that they do in their acting, and I'll be like, oh, that's cool, like I should do that in one of my like serious scenes, or like do this or do that. Like it's definitely just like the learning part, and like watching other people do something that I love to do and like they love it. I'm like, wait, this is so cool. Like you're just constantly like learning so much in those situations, and also going to acting class and learning from like my peers who are also passionate about it. That's probably my favorite part, is just getting better and learning more. And
so I know that you are going to Belmont University, correct?
Yes.
And you're doing it's screenwriting and something with acting. Yeah. So I think this means you're planning to pursue this full-time in the future, and if you are you planning on ever moving to LA or anything like that, or just how you're planning on like tackling this in the future?
For sure, yeah. So I'm going to Belmont University, class of 27. I'm very excited. I'm really excited. When I was narrowing down my college choices, Belmont was definitely like played a big part. It was a big one that I really wanted to go to because it's a very entertainment school. It's technically like a big music school because it's in Nashville, and like so it's a very big music school. But so I'm going for creative and entertainment industry. So that's basically kind of like what I'm doing now, but learning like all aspects, like broadcast journalism, like that sort of stuff. So pretty much everything within the entertainment industry, which I'm really excited to learn about because I've only ever really done like acting, so I get to like step into like a bunch of other places in the industry, which I'm very excited about. And and I'm doing a minor in screenwriting because I've always wanted to, I love to write, and I love like writing scripts, and for my acting class, like we'll sometimes like give ideas on like script ideas, and like it's always like I've always found it so exciting, so I'm like, what? Might as well. Like, might as well just minor it if that's something that I want to do full time, and I do want to do it. And I'm gonna and I'm gonna keep auditioning in college. I have like talked to my roommate, and I'm like, I have a really big backdrop and lights, and it's just something that's gonna have to be in our dorm room. Like, I'm sorry, but yeah, so definitely pursuing it in college because ultimately that's like my dream. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So. It'd be stupid for me to not. But yeah, so I'm very excited. What was the last half of the question?
I asked if you were going to move to LA in the future or anything like that, or any like future plans or goals.
Yeah, I see. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people don't know this, but Atlanta has sort of turned into the new LA, like for acting. Like everything is shot here, and I don't think people fully can grasp like how much is constantly filming here. It's like, well, everybody knows that Stranger Things was filmed here, but there's like, I swear almost every single Marvel movie, at least a part of it, was filmed here. And it's like there are studios like people don't even know about. Like it's actually like insane. So I feel like I'm gonna say no. I mean, I don't know what the future is gonna hold, but regarding like moving places, I think for acting, I would honestly stay close to Atlanta, because there's so many like sound stages in Atlanta. It's insane. So much stuff is filming here. It'd be stupid for me to leave. But I mean, going to Tennessee, I'm still close. So I can come back, and it's like a 4-hour drive. So it's like if I really need to come back for something, but yeah, for sure, definitely staying around Atlanta, because
I mean, I found out Hunger Games was filmed in Atlanta, which is crazy.
Like people like it's insane. Like there's probably like an article of like all the stuff that's been filmed here, and there's also I was at the mall like a few months ago, and there was this crew sign, and there was like sometimes they'll have signs with like abbreviations of the like the show's name or whatever, and so me and my mom always try to figure out what it is, but they're always filming stuff here, whether it's big stuff or smaller stuff. Like it's all filmed here, I swear.
So this is kind of just a fun like question, but what is your favorite movie or TV show, or like if you could work in any like TV show or movie that has already existed or like is going to be a project, like what would you choose? Just like a dream little thing.
That's a great question. And now I'm like, okay, I can think of two off the top of my head, and I would probably say either, Mamma Mia is my favorite movie of all time. Like,
I can imagine you in that,
all
honestly.
time. No, and like it is my dream to like shoot in a place like Greece. I'm like, that is so cool. Like I'm like, that's definitely like a dream. And also like probably like Greece as well. Like just such like all time just favorite movies because of the just everything about them. Like I also love like movies that have like that are like musicals too, because I also love musicals. And so yeah, I'd probably say those just because they're like childhood like movies, and that bring me so much joy. And I'm like, if I could have been in those, that would be insane. But also like to be in something in the future that's like those, I would also really enjoy that too.
Sorry. Okay, so last question.
Yes.
What advice do you have for those who want to get started in acting but don't know how, and then also anything else you want to kind of bring up or discuss about the industry or your job?
I would say anybody that wants to get started is to start acting or start classes or just start something. That's the best place to start, because I mean that's where I started, because just to really see if that's something that you want to pursue, if that's something you like. And then after that, there's, I think like it's so with like, I mean the internet was around. I'm not trying to like make myself sound like I'm really old or something, but when I had like first started out, like there wasn't a lot readily available like on the internet, but like now there's so many, like you can go on agents' website and like look for their email them and ask if they're like if they're signing or if they're taking auditions or whatever. But yeah, it's actually, you just have to have like the passion to do it, and that's like the biggest thing, is you have to want to do it, because there are some people that I know that like don't do it anymore, that are just focused on like, oh well, I want to be famous, oh I want to be like which a little part of me I'm like, oh that'd be cool. That'd be really cool actually. But I think it's more of like, you have to like love it, because if you don't love it, you're gonna be really disappointed, because it's it's just a very hard industry to like be a part. It's very demanding, and there's a lot of people you're going up against, and so you really have to, you're gonna get rejected a lot, but it makes it easier for me because I love it. And I'm after I film an audition, like with my coach or at home or whatever, like I'm always like, oh, like my spirits are just like lifted, because I just love the different roles and different parts. And also like if they're bigger shows and you get to see the script and you're like, well, I know something that other people don't. And I'm like, even if I didn't get it, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was gonna be a show. Like anyways, so that's what I would say.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you so much for having me.
today,
I enjoyed
Ella.
this so much. Thank you.
We are going to keep this, and when you become famous,
Oh
and
my
you win
gosh.
your Oscar.
Oh my gosh. Stop. No, yes, please.
Yeah. So this concludes this episode of Point of View. Thank you so much for listening. For a transcript of this episode, head to the Point of View tab on our website, nhsmessenger.org, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at NHS Point of View for updates and new episodes. I'm your host, Sofia Mang. This was
Ella Schuman.
And this has been Point of View.